I don't know about you, but I am tired of this fight over this cell phone. I'm starting to believe the rumors that RHONY was in trouble. Because I don't know if you remember the rumors when they were filming this new RHONY reboot. There were rumors that they were in trouble, things weren't working out. I'm starting to believe those rumors because I am also starting to believe that producers are behind these little petty fights, especially this Anguilla trip. First of all, Anguilla is a beautiful country. We're in a tropical island. Why aren't we having more fun? I don't mind the fights that happen during these trips, but RHONY's vacation trips have been one of my favorites. I'm not feeling it. I'm like, it's like, have they gone home yet? I'm ready for them to go home because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. At no point did I was like, oh, that's funny or this is enjoyable. Yes, I will give it to Bren. I'll give it to Ubah. I will give it to Sai. I will even give it to Aaron sometimes. Their confessionals, their little moments of adding funny are great. But it's those little moments, and that's not enough to make an episode worth watching and sitting through, especially because I feel like this was a supersized episode. I was just like, are we done yet? Are we done? Because I'm tired. I'm tired. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of New York City. Shout out to our subscribers. Shout out to our King's Guards. And of course, shout out to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, including our social media, our merchandise, and of course, our podcast, head on over to TheKempire.com for more details. Let's get into this recap. First, we're going to get into a countdown. Be sure to let me know where you're watching from and how you would rate the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York. And replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you either. Please share those thoughts as well in the comment section. Let's get into this countdown and then let's get into the RHONY recap.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer. Just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
I really do hope that this new season of The Real Housewives of New York is almost over. They did film the reunion a couple of weeks ago, so I know we are drawing close to the end. Thank God. Not a slap. We are still celebrating over 300,000 subscribers here on the channel. I think we're at 303,000 subscribers. So welcome to our new subscribers. And of course, shout out to our longtime subscribers and longtime channel members. We appreciate your monthly support. We appreciate your support. If you missed it, we did have quite a few short content and long form content here on the channel. So be sure to check that out. We had a lot of funny and not so funny moments that we had to cover over the weekend. RHONY. So last night's episode of RHONY, because RHONY is so near and dear to my heart, and I know that's why so many of you are so against this reboot. You're still so against it. You're not watching. You're not giving it a shot. I've been enjoying the beginning parts of this season, but now that we're drawing towards the end, it's like this slow crawl towards the end. And those little petty fights that we were having in the beginning that we're having still now, it's just like, it's not fun to watch. It's not entertaining. It's not keeping me engaged. And like I said last week, I don't need them to go to a dark, evil place. No, let's have some real conversations, or let's just have fun. I know it seems like, oh, we have to have drama. How about we have some fun? And Ubah, I love you. You are so funny, and I would love to be an Uber. We need to make that a thing. Ubah, work on getting that promo. I would love to be in her because she provides funny in the most inopportune times, you're like, oh, damn, Ubah. Damn it. Just when I'm going to be mad at you, you make me laugh. The same with Bren. Okay. So, last week's episode ended with the fight between Ubah and Aaron. And I told you I was very uncomfortable with the terminology and words that Aaron was using. At no time was I justifying Ubah grabbing the glasses off of Aaron's face. But I just thought some of the words that Erin was using before she grabbed those glasses, the words that she was using and the way that she was acting was very interesting. Hey, Aaron. But Ubah, even when I saw the grabbing of the glasses in the trailer before we even made it to this episode, I was just like, we're going to have to revisit this because at no time would I justify someone doing something like that. And even seeing it with the full scene, I didn't see that. But apparently there's another side to Ubah that the ladies are like, well, when Ubah gets going. But still, I feel like that was wrong. I feel like both of them were wrong in some shape or form. But this fight over this phone, for an entire episode, we are fighting about this phone. An entire episode. And I know it's not necessarily just about the phone because Ubah does talk about, as a single woman traveling, she's made a deal with her friends and family to keep them updated on where she is. And I don't take that lightly because I know plenty of females that travel and that's their concern. Part of the reason why they're like, Kempire, you're so lucky that you can kind of travel on your own because as a female, that's not something, that's safe in this world. And I get that. So for some people that never had those types of conversations, people are like, what is wrong with her? Why does she got to call? No, it's a real concern for women traveling. So I get why she might be concerned about, okay, where's my phone? I lost my phone. She lost her phone again in this episode. Do I think that Aaron meant any malice in taking the phone? No. I think Aaron took a joke too far and did not realize that Ubah would get as mad as she did. I don't believe Aaron really had ill intentions in taking her phone. Do I think it was just for 45 minutes? No. I don't think it was just for 45 minutes. But I also don't think that this deserved the level of animosity that was brewed that brewed this entire episode between Aaron and Ubah. So they're going back and forth. Aaron is just upset. Ubah says, I'm going to keep your glasses for 45 minutes since you kept my phone for 45 minutes. And she sets a timer. And I agree with Jenna Lyons. This seems so petty. This seems so ridiculous. Here's the thing, Jenna. You didn't hear when the producer was in Ubah's ear or in Aaron's ear. This is what you're going to do. Ubah, you didn't have any moments this season. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get your moment this episode. They're not going to tell that to Jenna Lyons. So Jenna Lyons is like all of us. What is going on? And do I think people can be petty and get into these types of fights naturally? Of course. But I feel as if we always forget that they're filming a reality show and a lot of the fights that they're having isn't about the actual fight. It's about the reality show. These women are fighting for their moment because they know that the odds are against them. They know that the fans are against them. They want to make a good show. And the producers are in their ear. We want to make this a good show. Everything is riding on this being a success because if it's successful here, we will do it in other cities. Fast forward to Roa. So they're having this little bit of battle. Erin starts crying. All right. And then she also says that this is the worst conflict she's ever had in her life. Am I think she's being dramatic? I would hope so. Because this is the worst conflict you've ever had in your life. All right. We'll go with that. Ubah does mention at one point, because she's a single girl and she's talking about how she needs her phone and how she checks. She's like, I'm doing this for the single girls. I was like, oh. Sidebar, Jenna, when they're writing in these little, I'm going to just call them the Uber. When they're writing in this, Jenna says, I'm still very confused by Brent's story and the tampon going in the wrong hole. Wouldn't that hurt? So Jenna is what we were saying last week. I feel as if Brent was just saying stuff to say stuff. That doesn't make any sense. Obviously, she's never done anything with that area. I'm just saying, you're not just putting anything up. I'm saying. All right. So, of course, the ladies, they're in Anguilla. They go to this bar, Elvis's bar, and they're, getting shots and things like that. So it comes up this theme that people forget about Jessel. Jessel's there, but people forget about her. Not so much so. They didn't forget about her at the reunion. She has a second seat. Do I have my reunion thing here? Hold on. Do I have it here? Nope. That's the ring. Do I not have it here? Oh, here it is. It's at the top. It's at the top. Her reunion seating. So she's good. Look, she's good. But people kept forgetting about Jessel. I can see people forgetting about Jessel. I like Jessel, though. And I keep telling Jessel, don't change. And see, Jessel, because you didn't change throughout the entire season and you started taking notes on everybody, you are a second seat. Good for you. Good for you. Ubah then, of course, gets into it again. With Aaron. Sidebar, we learn more. We've learned a lot about Sai. We've learned a lot about Sai this season. I didn't know that Sai was a bartender for 10 years. She's over there trying to mix things. And she says, I'm not the bartender where you have conversations about your life. Pay your tab. And if you don't do it quick enough, I've moved on. She was one of those annoying bartenders. I wonder if but she didn't make great tips because of that attitude. Just saying. Ubah then she starts to spill some tea on Aaron because they start getting into it again. So she spills some tea on what Aaron has told her. Because remember, Aaron and Ubah have been sort of like road dogs for each other this entire season. So she brings up the fact that she called Bren a social climber. And she stood on that because later in the episode, she was like, Bren is a social climber. Jessel is annoying. That's facts. I don't know if that's facts, Aaron. Do you guys think that Bren is a social climber? I feel like they accuse anyone that isn't born into money a social climber because they're hustling and getting into places maybe that you naturally were born into, Aaron. I'm just saying it's important to kind of take a look at some of those things because I feel like people that are new money or have worked their way up into rooms and settings, people want to automatically say that they're social climbers when they've worked hard to be in those settings. I'm sure people have said that about Jenna Lyons because remember, Jenna Lyons came from nothing and then became this huge thing. She said at one point in her life, because they were talking about boarding school and things like that. And they were asking, Bren asked, do they, mention the fact that you're a Jenna Lyons at his school and things like that? She's like, well, at the height of her J. Crew fame, she really couldn't even go outside because people wanted to take pictures with her. And then I had an aha moment because you may have heard that I gave you like a BravoCon update earlier today. So be sure to check out that video because I had some Real Housewives of New Jersey tea that I dropped too. But I also dropped some more BravoCon tea. And I was like, why is Jenna Lyons not going to BravoCon? I think it's her social anxiety. And I also think it's a lot. That's a lot. And if you are a housewife or a Bravo celebrity, it really helps your ego going to BravoCon because the way that they are celebrated at BravoCon, I think it's very positive. It's a very tiring and long weekend for all those Bravo celebrities. They're being whisked away in so many different directions. They're drinking. They're doing all kinds of things. Okay. And I think Jenna Lyons, who knows? Jenna probably also, maybe that's the weekend that she has her son. And I can see her prioritizing her son over any of us. Just saying. And I respect that about Jenna. Jenna, for me, is the MVP this season. I've really enjoyed Jenna this season. Like, surprisingly, because I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, Jenna Lyons. Well, some of you are fashionistas, so you're very familiar with her. I was like, all right, and I'll see. Look. Like I really try not to be impressed by anyone until they're on the show, unless I knew them before. I really didn't know Jenna Lyons like that. I knew of her, but I didn't know her like that. I didn't know her history. And now that I know her history, now I've seen her personality, I've fallen in love, like Bren. Like Bren. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of New York. So be sure to let us know how you would rate this episode from 1 to 10 and your thoughts, your highlights. I know I don't cover every single moment because especially this episode, it was a little chaotic. It's like, what is going on? I can't keep up. Are we still talking about the phone? Are we? Apparently. All right, moving on. So Ubah brings up the fact that Aaron called Bren a social climber, and Bren was just like, what? What? Then Ubah says the Aaron's glasses were Canal Street. For those of you that are not from New York or have never been to New York and were confused by the Canal Street comment, I'm just going to let you guys know. Some of you already know, even if you're not from New York. Canal Street, legendary in Chinatown. That's where you can get fake anything. That's why I say you get I will always say back in the day, oh, was that a Canal Street special? Like, the Louis Vuittons and things like that. And you'd be surprised who's over in Canal Street getting those fake things. Just saying. Going in back corners, going into secret rooms to get the fake Louis Ouies. I'm not judging. Whatever. I will never judge someone on how they want to spend their money. But I also get why it's worth it to buy. If you're going to buy anything, buy quality, because those Louis Ouies and things like that, those Canal Street specials, Aaron, I don't believe Aaron has Canal Street special, but you never know. Because like I said, you'd be surprised you see down the Canal Street. It's your money. If you want to get a fake one for whatever reason, even if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, I'm not going to judge your life. Keep up with the Joneses if you want. All right. But there is a difference when you buy an actual Louis Vuitton or a Gucci or something. Like, those things have value. You can sell those things later. God forbid you need something to pay your mortgage. You could take that Louis out of your closet and sell that for twice as much as you paid for it, because that's the thing about a lot of these brands. Why are we talking about brands? Because that's what we do. We take sidebars. A lot of those things are limited edition, like they don't make them anymore. But I also understand why some people, they just can't afford it, and you still want to feel special. Look at Monica from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She felt the pressure though, and I didn't love that for her. She felt the pressure, but I was like, girl, I mean, you bought it. I know you felt the pressure. I know your intention behind buying it was, to impress these women, but it really is an investment. You could always sell that for probably more than you paid for it, or at least for a good amount of money. Just saying. All right, so that's what Ubah referred to Aaron's glasses from Canal Street. A mess. But I appreciate these little instances so we can talk about it. All right, so the group starts to realize that Aaron is the center of all the drama. We have already realized that. Aaron is the center of all the drama. I don't think that Aaron is innocent. I didn't love that everyone started ganging up on Aaron, but at the same time, and two wrongs don't make a right, but I'll say this, now Aaron is starting to feel exactly how she made Jenna Lyons feel on the first night in Anguilla. But I will give it to Erin. She realized this towards the end of the episode and brings it up to Jenna. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, does she not realize that the behavior that these ladies are exhibiting, specifically Ubah, is what you've been doing to some of the other ladies? She's been doing it to Jessel. She's been doing it to Jenna Lyons. I mean, she can't do it to Sai. I think you teach people how to treat you. And you'd be surprised how certain people will do certain behavior to personalities that will take it, or they'll take advantage of it. Anyway, so the group starts to realize this. Ubah is still talking about her issues with Aaron. So Aaron's getting tired. So she decides, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't. So I'm taking a break. So she goes back to the villa and she calls her dad and tells her dad what's going on. And I find that to be interesting. Maybe because I don't necessarily have that relationship with my parents. So if I'm having an issue with a friend or a partner or something like that, I'm not calling my parents. But some of you might. So I'm not judging her for calling her dad, even though it felt like, oh, daddy, she's making fun of me. It did feel a little bit like that. But everyone's relationship with their parents are different. Some of you do have that type of relationship with your mom or dad, and you tell them everything. But for me, someone that doesn't have that type of relationship, I'm just like, does your dad really care? He seemed like it, though. He seemed like it. Anyways, so Jenna brings up something very interesting, and I'm glad they flashed back 3 months before this incident and says, there's a side of Ubah that people don't see. And she saw it one time before when she invited them to her office or something like that. And she didn't tell Ubah that there would be cameras there. And Ubah had showed another side to herself. She's like, if you're going to invite me anywhere, you need to let me know if there's going to be cameras, because there's hair and makeup and things that I need to do. I'm always trying to put myself in the perspective of a person's lifestyle and how they have navigated the world. We have to remember Ubah has been a model for a very long time. Ubah is also on this reality show. And we've talked about this before, especially when it comes to Black women. And what show were we talking about? I think we were talking about Selling Tampa, and they were talking about how their cast was treated differently, you know, with Black women's hair and makeup, things like that. We need certain things. So that's the way I took it. I was just like, oh, well, I think because she's coming from the modeling world, I think because also she's filming a reality show and she didn't know cameras were going to be there, there's an extra step that she has to do because she adds, weaves and wigs and things like that to her situation. I think more so it's about the modeling part. She's used to, depending on where she's going, anytime there's a camera, they are putting makeup on her. First of all, Ubah, you came in there looking like a supermodel, even if that was your own makeup or something. But I get it. You're used to a certain thing. But Ubah with no makeup is gorgeous. Come on, look. Some people need a little bit more, and I could understand more so for them. But Ubah, you walked in there still looking like a supermodel. But Jenna said that she saw another side of Ubah then. I thought that was interesting. All right. But then Ubah then also talked about, and this is what we talked briefly about last week, in regards to some of the subtle words and terminology that Aaron was using. And Ubah's like, when a Black woman is passionate, people call her aggressive, they call her angry. We've talked about that on other reality spaces. I'm glad she brought it up. I'm glad the conversation happened. Even Sai confirmed that in her confessional. But I will say this, Ubah, if Ubah did not grab Aaron's glasses, I probably could ride for Ubah a little bit more. I did not like Ubah getting in her face like that and then taking the glass off. To me, that was definitely aggressive behavior. And I was just like, ooh, wait a minute. But before that, with the things that Aaron was saying, I was just like, first of all, Ubah in that instance didn't say anything to you. She was saying, yes, Aaron was right here. And then you were like, oh, don't mention my name. And that's when Ubah went off. Ubah does say the reason why she took Aaron's sunglasses was because she knows she's sensitive to light. So she was trying to be evil. Oh my goodness, these ladies, we're fighting over a phone and sunglasses. I'm so tired. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm so glad that next week we will move on. Hopefully. All right. Moving on from there, guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget a new episode of our podcast came out last week. A video version of that podcast will be available on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. If you're a member of the channel, the unedited version is still available for Senior Royals. Also, Senior Royals, you got an exclusive look into some cover art, so be sure to check that out and let me know your thoughts. And if you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And yes, so the video version of the podcast will be available on Kempire Radio, but it will be a different version. It won't be the unedited, raw, live version that's on this channel. All right. Don't forget, guys, we also have a proud sponsor of the channel. I love my Coldest water bottle. Head on over to coldest.com. They don't just have water bottles in multiple colors and multiple sizes that keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. They have sheets. They have pillows. They have things for your pets. Head on over there, but don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off of your order. That's Kempire10. More information is available in the description of this show. All right. Moving on. That was a mouthful. So Bren talk. See, this is what I'm loving about Sai and Bren. We learn so much more about them naturally as they unfold some things. We learn more about Bren's grandma. She gets really emotional talking about her and how her grandmother really encouraged her to travel and to live a different life. And she also talks about why she flirts. And we've sort of assessed this. All of us in our psychology degrees sort of assess that the reason why Bren is so flirty and bubbly the way that she is just, it's a defense mechanism. It's her armor. It's a way for her to sort of like break down anyone judging her or the way she grew up and any triggers and things like that. What I found to be interesting, because, we also learned during the season that Bren is very into chess. She's going to these little chess matches. And I always said she really is she's probably really, really smart. But she's learned that being bubbly like this has gotten her further and has worked for her. And I can see it working for her in the world of PR. So she said she was pre-med for a while until she failed out one of her classes, and she leaned into going into PR, and now she's an expert. According to her, she's an expert, and now she consults for some major people. So I was like, all right, this is the first time that we're getting a glimpse into her professional life. We haven't seen her home life because apparently she can't film in her apartment in the West Village, which is disappointing. But I get it. I wouldn't want you filming my house either. But here we are. But I found that to be interesting. So Erin does end up, after leaving the lady, she does end up calling her father for advice. Erin feels like Ubah was bullying her like she had been bullied when she was a young girl, where they were calling her Long John Silver because of her jaw. All right, Erin. You weren't thinking about any of this when you were putting pressure and putting Jenna in the hot seat. Just saying. So the ladies move on, and they end up having a conversation about boarding school. Ubah says she's against boarding school. Ubah says that she feels that people that send their kids to boarding school are parents that don't want to be parents. Ubah. I don't necessarily agree with that. I know some people might agree with that. Caroline Stanberry from Real Housewives of Dubai might feel like that. She was not a proponent of boarding school. I don't necessarily believe that, to be honest with you. I believe some people feel like, oh, my child could get a better education going to this particular boarding school, and it will keep them out of trouble. I don't necessarily, look, not everything is true for everyone, but I would never make a blanket statement. I feel like someone that sends their kids to boarding schools don't want to be parents. I don't agree with that. And this is where we learn about Jenna and if she's spoiling her son or not. And her son is the one that sort of has to check her about spending. He's like, no, I don't want ice cream. No, I don't want that shirt. It's too expensive, blah, 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 blah. So we're learning more about Jenna. And one of the things that Jenna says that I thought was beautiful, because first of all, she did say at the height of her fame that she even couldn't go outside. People wanted to take pictures with her. She also said that she said this is not the first time that she said this during the season. She said she's not trying to be something for someone else anymore in her life. I know so many of people, women and men, that are going to be inspired by Jenna and watching her navigate this show this season, just by some of the things that she said during the season, especially because I know some of you can relate to being socially awkward and to growing up the way similar, maybe in a different way, but very similar to Jenna. But she said this before earlier in the season that she's done with being something for someone else. I was like, all right. Ubah does apologize to the group for, how everything turned out with her and Aaron this morning. But as they're heading back in the Uber, we find out that Jessel keeps a list on, she said first mistake, she keeps a mental list. A second mistake with someone, she starts keeping an actual list in her phone. And apparently she has a list of gripes that she has with Aaron. I really do appreciate this side of Jessel because it's so petty and it's so unique to her and it's so in line with who she is. I'm just like, oh, okay. What's in this list, Jessel? But I do appreciate Ubah saying, do you have a list for me? Because if there's an issue, I want to apologize and let's dead this. I appreciate that. I think they bonded sharing a room together in Anguilla. I think that was nice. There was video footage that Ubah shared on Instagram where they were dancing to, I forgot what reggae song they were dancing to. And seeing Jessel dance to the reggae, remember she grew up in London. So they're very, the Caribbean culture is very mixed. And I got to get back to, I really enjoyed London. Shout out to our London folks where we had our first and only meetup. I know United States folks are mad. We're going to do a meetup in BravoCon or in Vegas at least. We'll do maybe I'll do one in BravoCon and then one outside of BravoCon. Like outside the doors. No. So she shared video footage of them having a good time with a producer in Anguilla. And I was just like, oh my God, this seems like more fun than the show that we're watching. But anyways. So they have that conversation. Erin and Ubah try to solve their issues when she first comes in. I appreciate Ubah not going to Erin when Erin says, Ubah, come. She was like, say it nicely. Because at first, I was like, who you talking to? See, I'm big on respect. I'm big on principle. So you're not going to call me over like that, especially if we're in the middle of having issues. So I'm glad that Ubah did not immediately go to her. But Ubah looked like she also was ready to move on. But she was like, say it nicely. Ubah does apologize to the guys. I feel like the guys don't care what Ubah says. They're just like, this woman is stunning. You saw those three men waiting. Like, she's stunning. Anyways, so they try to have a conversation, but then Ubah realizes that she lost her phone again. She lost her phone again, and she can't seem to focus now on this conversation with Aaron, because it seemed like they were getting to a good place, and then it goes left immediately. I'm not going to go through why it goes left immediately with these two, because I am so tired of this conversation. Anyone else? I know you are. You're tired of it. But you're here with me, and I appreciate that. I do appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, be sure to vote in the live chat, if you're watching on YouTube, in the live chat on how you would rate this episode of The Real Housewives of New York City. And those of you that are watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, we appreciate you guys as well. And shout out to those of you that send in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, buy merch. We appreciate your support of the channel. That helps us to continue to create content outside the barriers of community guidelines. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, back to this. So Ubah loses her phone again. Bren ends up finding it in the Uber. Okay, thankfully. All right. But then Bren and Aaron, so they go to the pool because she's done with the conversation with Aaron. They end up going to the pool. They end up getting into it again, Ubah and Aaron. But before they get into it, Bren and Aaron get into it because Bren is just like, you're saying I'm a social climber. It's still bothering me, the things that you were saying about me being a homewrecker. Here's the thing. I don't think she called her a homewrecker, but you know what I mean? Flirting with her husband. I still believe that, Bren, you were inappropriate for the things that you said and did at the party. Do I think that you meant malice? No. But I still feel like you were wrong. I still love Bren, though. I do love Bren. Damn it. Why am I mad? No, I just love her because, like, just her interactions, like these little moments that just make me laugh. Like, she wants to get her drink, but she's like, I'm conflicted. I have to go get the phone, but my drink is there. She's clearly inebriated. At one point during this episode, her wet hair goes into Jenna Lyons as she's getting dressed, and she's only in a towel, and she's like, hello. Just rolling everywhere. She's drunk. Okay. But they get into it in the jacuzzi, Bren and Aaron, about what Aaron has said about her. And then Ubah gets into it with Aaron again. And you're such a bitch. This is Aaron to Ubah. And then she says to Ubah, you talk so much ish about everyone. I don't think that Ubah talks ish about everyone. I think she might be shady and funny, but I feel like the reason why Ubah gets along with everyone is because she's genuinely friends with everyone. Unlike Aaron. Aaron, I feel like you blindsided Jenna. You've really been at the center of all of the drama. I already knew you were going to be sitting next to Andy Cohen. I already knew because you were at the center of all of the drama this season. All right. Moving on from there. So they end up having that fight, but they end up moving away from the other ladies and they sit down and they finally put an end to the drama. I really believe a producer was in their ear. It's time for you guys to move on. We're done talking about this phone thing. Put it to bed. So they go over there and they have their conversations. They say, I love you. I love you. I wouldn't feel this way if I didn't love you. And Ubah's like, well, you're not a liar. I shouldn't have said that. You're not a liar, but you do stir the pot a lot. Do you think that Aaron's a liar? I don't know. I don't feel like we know these people enough to be like, yeah, she's a liar. I do believe that she stirs the pot a lot. I definitely believe that she stirs the pot a lot. So the ladies do have a final dinner. And I'm so relieved by the end of this episode. I was like, all right. Jenna ends up bringing up the whole Jessel list situation. I thought at the table they were going to confront Jessel about this list, but they don't. They just end up talking about it amongst themselves. And Sai's just like, she might have a list about me. I don't care. I really just don't care. Part of me is like Sai, though. I'm just like, you might have an issue with me. There's plenty of people that probably have issues with me that I have no idea about and don't care about. There's always going to be someone. You as well probably have people that don't like you and you have no idea. Should you care? No. But I think there might be something beside that. On some level, you should care. Because last week we were saying the way that you care so much about Jessel's personal story and you're judging her personal story, it's just like, yes, her family is a part of her story. That's a part of her story. But we shall see. We shall see, because Jessel and Sai are going to have a sit down next week. Next week. Are you tired of their issues? Are you tired of the season? The fashion was fashioning. Bren was drunk. The ladies came down. First of all, during all of this drama, when Ubah and Aaron were fighting in the jacuzzi and the ladies were just sitting back and watching, Jenna wasn't there. Jenna could hear all the drama, but she's like, I got work to do. Like, Jenna is still actively busy working on stuff. And that could also be another reason why Jenna is not coming to BravoCon. She probably has meetings that weekend. Who knows? Jenna Lyons is making money, okay? That was my first thought. I didn't think, oh, Jenna's having an issue with Bravo. No, my first thought was like, she's probably busy. She probably's got work to do. She can't be, hanging out with y'all. And she doesn't even drink. It's a weekend full of drinking. I don't even drink either, y'all. But I already know a lot of these people are inebriated. All right? Anyways, especially the Housewives. But I'm so glad by the end of this episode that the fighting is done. But now the fighting will be turned on Jessel. But I think Jessel handles herself pretty well in this group. It will be interesting to see how we round out the season. I don't know how many more episodes we have left. This was episode 11. So I believe we may have like 2 or 3 more episodes before the season finale. And then we will have hopefully a 2-part reunion. I can't imagine this being a 3-part reunion. I think this is too new. And I know some of you are already saying, all right, live chat, 1-part reunion would suffice. I mean, if they could wrap it up, I just don't want it to be like, you saw what they did with the Atlanta reunion. It felt a little too haphazard for the 2 parts. But then again, could we use 3 parts? I don't know about that either. Anyways, how would you rate this episode? I would probably rate this episode, just because they were beating such a dead horse, I'm going to give it a 7. And I think I'm being very nice by giving it a 7. This beating of a dead horse with the phone, I didn't expect this episode to be all about the phone, because I felt like last week's episode was about this phone. This week being about the phone, I just felt like it wasn't that big of an issue. I didn't think that it needed to go to a place where Ubah's bringing up all the dirty secrets that Aaron has told her and throwing that in her face. I didn't think it was worth all that. I did appreciate the little funny moments from Ubah and Bren. They really made me laugh. Anything else? No. Oh, Jessel's list for the win. I mean, I might start doing, no, I don't think, I would have to care about you to sit down and make a list of all the things that you've done to me. But I can appreciate it for Jessel, because you need to keep a list when you're on a reality show like this. I'm sure she went back to her list for the reunion. She was like, well, you said this, you said this, you said. She probably was taking notes watching these episodes. Just saying. Guys, as always, let me know how you would rate this episode of The Real Housewives of New York. Be sure to let me know what you thought of the episode. Do you feel like I feel? You don't have to. You might be like, Kempire, you are ridiculous. This episode was stellar. Or no, Kempire, this episode was trash. Why you have me watching this damn show? Kempire, I only watch your recaps. Well, I appreciate it. And to continue the engagement, let me know in the comment section, and be sure to like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, join us. Become one of our 300-something thousand subscribers. We appreciate you all being here. Shout out to our King's Guards for holding us down in the comment section, and of course in the live chat. We could not do this without them. They've been riding with me anytime I go live, so be sure to show them love. They've been saying hello to you in the chat, thanking you for your super chats and your shares and everything like that. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our subscribers. And of course, thank you to our channel members. To become a channel member, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And to get some merch, head on over to houseofthekempire.com. More information on how you can support the channel. And our P.O. Box. I always forget to remind you guys about our P.O. Box. Is available in the description of this episode. And of course, go get the merch. I already said that. Yeah. Okay. Let's get out of here with some music, guys. We're rounding out this season of The Real Housewives of New York. I want to know, Are you feeling it? Do you want to see another reboot in another city? What does that look like to you? Let's continue that conversation in the comment section and go check out the video I posted this morning. I had some Bravo tea, some Real Housewives of New Jersey tea that we had to talk about. And if you miss any of my videos over the weekend because you're not subscribed, come to the page, go check out everything that you missed because you missed a lot this weekend. All right, let's get out of this. I will see you guys tomorrow for our Tuesday takeover at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. That's where we talk about a variety of reality TV, including 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day Fiancé the other way, 90 Day Fiancé UK, 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. We also talk about Big Brother season 25, and I'm going to talk about Big Brother season 23 with the cookout because that's what I've been watching all weekend. Thank God for the rainy weekend, because that's what I've been watching all weekend. What an iconic, epic season. We'll talk more about that along with some pop culture news tomorrow. Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget, hashtag Tuesday Takeover. Tag me, hashtag Kempire, all of that. See you guys then. Bye, y'all. Don't forget to like the video. Let's get out of here with some music.
I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. Once again, I'm gone with the summer. They be trying to count us out, we highly endowed. They must not know what's at stake, what we fighting about. There's tradition to a wordsmith, the missile shooter. I'm my automatic sniper, I bet this'll do ya. I give reason and ether to all the line soldiers. I'm undefeated, my region remains on my shoulders. I've cried nights, that's only because of highlights. I find life in knowing I'm playing mine right. Wicked crimes from them wanna be crowned. Try to lead me to the deep where I might cunningly drown. At times I thought they got me where they wanted me now. But like the sun, I rise up when I don't wanna be down, and that's I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. They ain't never been eye to eye with Satan in the broad daylight. Gone left while they all sway right. A true maverick, unbothered by what y'all made right. A naysayer slayer, I'm filleting all daylight. Yeah, we in that upside down, I manage not to sink. They keep our eyes wide shut, I manage not to blink. Another decade or maybe they not faking. Maybe it's more to it, maybe we got taken advantage of. Either way, the damage is done. The bottom feeders get to eat all them glamorous crumbs. Where all them seekers of truth, the speakers of the youth. We come and go with the summers, keep believing in you. I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. Yeah, yeah. Once again, I'm gone with the summer.